What's going on, guys, and welcome to the live stream this morning. Welcome back, Hunter, GZ, Russ, David, Shelby. And Shelby, thanks, you have no sound. Sorry, I was just sitting here on the starting soon screen. That's why you had no sound, but the sound will come up for you in a little bit. But let me go ahead and change this over to the larger system really fast. The market just opened today. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go check out the SPY right off of open. It was actually looking very good this morning, actually holding its ground, which kind of like it did yesterday, and then tanked off at open. So we're going to have to see what happens with them. I'm really curious to see what happens with AMC today. You know, there's going to be a lot of movement with this. People have been saying there's a lot of manipulation going on with CLOV and Wendy's. So we're going to have to see how AMC can kind of recover up. And so far at open, AMC is actually looking pretty good. It's down 3%, but man, that was just in pre-market. As soon as the market opened, we see it really rising up. Let's go check out CLOV, which initially popped up and then now it's selling off. And a lot of people say Citadel and people own a lot of people like Citadel and different institutions own CLOV. So, guys, definitely let me know in the comments how you feel about that. If you like CLOV or not. I know some people like it, some people don't. But overall, it is taking a little bit of a beating today at open. AMC was popping. Now it's just kind of consolidating there. Let's go see the SPY really quick, kind of sitting there as well. Let's see. We had Rad saying Wish, CLOV, and CLNE popping. So let's go check it out. I know Wish was doing pretty good earlier and it's still up 15%, but it is starting to tank off at open, which is not a good sign at all. Abdullah says first time in the live stream. Let's go. Good morning, guys. Yeah, I appreciate that. Welcome. Pradeep says VGM. Let's go check it out. VGM on the chart. This is a what do they do, Pradeep? This is a pretty crazy looking stock here. Looks like it's going to turn over. I'm going to have to definitely look this one up. I don't know what their fundamentals are or what they cover, but let's go check out CLNE. Wow, this stock really gapped up today. Clean energy fuels. I know people have been talking about this quite a bit over the past couple of weeks, and man, it just looks very good. I know that they're in a great sector as well. And I think coming up over the next few weeks that this is going to be a pretty good move here on CLNE. It honestly reminds me of like AMC or GameStop or something like that. And honestly, it's a good stock and a good sector. So this recovery back up is not bad by any means, but definitely let me know what kind of stocks you guys are watching today. Oh, it means very good morning. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because the stock was definitely a little strange. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's go check out AMC though again. At open, unfortunately, looks like we're turning back over a little bit. Not a good sign, hitting 51.10. Hopefully we can kind of run back up later in the day. Let's go check out Wendy's for those chicken tendies, you know. It looks pretty good. Honestly, if it can hold 28, I think it'll be all right, but it looks pretty bearish, I'd say. Looks like we're just kind of falling below that support level, which is not a good sign at all. But there is a lot of people, like I said, saying that there's some market manipulation. We have Russ saying Twitter is up and running. So look at that. Yeah, Twitter is doing pretty well this morning. It still needs to break above that $60 resistance, I think, before we see the type of movement that we're actually looking for with it. But yeah, it's a great stock so far this morning and looking pretty good. And yeah, Rad, that had me that had me laughing too. I was pretty confused as well. Let's go check out PYPL, PayPal really quick. I know PayPal is popping this morning up above 266, kind of flying up to the upside, looking pretty good. Let's go check out CCL, kind of tanking off today at open. How about DraftKings? DraftKings is kind of consolidating up here around 56. Hopefully we can start to get a good pop out of DKNG today or tomorrow. Let's go check out that SPY again though and see how it's doing. I know it was coming back down a little bit. It looks like we're going to try to go back up to green. And Jared says, can the SPY break all-time highs today? You know, I really think it can. It looks like there was a lot of momentum. It just worries me kind of like yesterday. You know, yesterday it looked pretty good, honestly. We had a lot of momentum going into open and then just tanked off. But I don't think we're going to tank off today like we did yesterday, but just definitely watch out today. I think if we can break out above 423.50, it'll be an awesome play. I actually posted this as a free day trade in the Discord. If you guys want to check the links out down below to go ahead and check out the Discord, I called out SPY calls if it can pass above 423.50. So just watch for that later on today. I think it's going to be a definitely a good level to look out for. And then let's go check out Let's see. Vicky says FB, Pinterest, and Fiverr, please. Let's go check out Facebook. Honestly, Facebook's looking pretty good today, recovering back up to the upside, looking like a very nice recovery play from yesterday. I know yesterday it kind of fell down at open and just hovered around that support around 333 all day long and just refused to break that, it seemed like. But now it's recovering back up with a pretty nice move. So Facebook is looking pretty decent today for recovery. And if we go check out the QQQ, you know, that stock is looking pretty decent as well. It's up quite a bit today, especially in pre-market. So overall, the market is looking pretty decent. And then she says, check out Pins and Fiverr. So let's go check it out. Pinterest. I know this stock's definitely been running over the past few days as well. And yeah, Pinterest looks great. I think if it can pass above 67, it would be even better. But yeah, I really love the setup on Pinterest, on the daily especially. It looks like a very nice recovery play. And, you know, we see a lot of these value stocks recovering up off of these supports. And Pinterest is just one of those great companies in a great sector. So they definitely have potential. And she says to check out Fiverr. So let's go check out Fiverr really quick. And almost like the same setup as Pinterest on the 15-minute chart. Looks pretty decent. It doesn't have quite as much momentum today, but overall looks very, very good. We have a lot of people asking about CLNE and Wish. So let's go check it out. Clean Energy. Shelby's asking for the support and resistance on CLNE. So let's check it out. Looks like intraday, there's going to be an upper resistance right around 14.50. And then I would say that there's a support down here around $12.30. $12.30. It's bounced off of twice. Once in after hours yesterday, one in pre-market today. So overall, seems like a pretty good setup out of CLNE. And I really like this company and I like the setup it's in. It is getting a little overextended now once you see today's movement, but for the past couple weeks, I think it's been a pretty good opportunity to buy it at these supports and buy it at these lower levels. Now we have Bibbin saying Dow Jones. So let's go check it out. /YM Dow Jones futures on the daily. It's honestly not looking the best. Let's go check it out on the 5-minute chart. Kind of tried to recover up, but now it's coming back down. Let me check out the DIA to get a little bit better of an idea. And yeah, it's just kind of flat to down. You know, the thing that worries me about the Dow Jones is that we have a lot of stocks in there, like, for example, like Caterpillar, which is just way overextended, starting to fall back down now. Home Depot, pretty overextended, coming back down. Walmart even looks like it's kind of starting to turn over a little bit. You know, Target is just exploding. Eventually, they're going to be pulling back as well. So there's definitely a lot of stocks in the Dow Jones that have done very, very good over the past couple of months to couple of years, and it's just one of those situations where they might start coming back to the downside. Abdullah says, "What do you think about BA?" So let's go check it out. Boeing. Oh man, yeah, it's actually kind of double topped up here around 260. I've been talking about this one quite a bit in the YouTube videos over the past few weeks and stuff, but I would definitely make it break above $260 before I'm bullish on it. It looks like it's just having a lot of problems breaking out right there. And Roberto says Twitter at $60. So let's go check it out. TWTR looks great on the daily chart, guys. I mean, Twitter is one of the better setups I think in the market right now. There's lots of confirmation on this, and it just looks like a fantastic play. But yeah, on the 5-minute chart, it is coming back up to $60 right now and passing above that. So it does look like an amazing play, which is honestly a great sign to see. So that's really good. And I know lots of people have been waiting for Twitter to break 60. So hopefully we can start to break out above that today. Looks like there was quite a bit of movement heading up to there. I wouldn't be surprised if it broke this later in the day, but hopefully it can keep up this momentum and have a pretty good move to the upside. It's really trying to fill this gap up on the daily chart, and there's great confirmations off of some of these blue trend lines. So overall, really good setup here. Justin says, "Good morning. Hey man, what's up? Having a pretty good morning so far. Hopefully AMC and some of these stocks can kind of start to turn back around. It's not looking too good for some of them. I know people have been talking about market manipulation with CLOV, Wendy's, and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about that. You know, do you guys think that they're kind of manipulating the market, making CLOV pop, or do you think it's truly the short squeeze making it pop? Let me know in the comments. But you can see AMC is down today. Nonetheless, it looks like CLOV is also down. Wendy's down as well. Let's go see if CLNE is still rising. CLNE looks to be one of the only ones that are holding up. Let's go see Wish. I know everyone's talking about Wish.com right now. And yeah, they're actually popping back up a little bit also. So it seems like CLNE and Wish are going to be the the two more volatile ones I would say to look at for today. We have Bibbin saying check out the NASDAQ. So let's go check it out. /NQ NASDAQ futures really popping up this morning actually, and at open had a pretty good run. Let's go see the QQQ. Yeah, the QQQ is actually popping as well, which is great to see. On you know, normally when the QQQ pops, the SPY does pretty decent, but the SPY is pretty red, so that shows you that tech is really taking away the day today. Let's go see Apple. At market open, Apple had a pretty big pop up, and now it just came right back to the downside. Honestly, I think Apple looks decent for the next few days, but we'll just have to see how that goes. And Rad says, yes, CLNE, yup, clean energy. I definitely was talking about that one as well, and it looks really awesome. I think if it holds $13 all day, it's going to be a pretty good play, and I honestly like this setup. So clean energy seems pretty decent, and I think that out of a lot of these hype stocks or meme stocks, you should say, I think that clean energy honestly has some of the better potential just for being in a great sector, and just I think having not good fundamentals yet per se. They're not really too profitable yet, but more of like they're in a great sector, and I think that the stuff that they do, you know, trying to provide clean energy, of course, is going to be pretty good for the longer term. And Abdullah says check out TLRY. I have a $20 call expiring 6/18. Let's go see Tilray. Looks like it is moving to the upside today. You know, we're seeing some of these marijuana stocks starting to really run up. Let's go check out SNDL, Sundial. I know lots of people have been waiting for this one to kind of pop back up over the past few days, and it looks like they're kind of trying to move up, but there's definitely a lot of lots of problems going on right now with SNDL. So we're just gonna have to see what can move, but if it can break out above I would say like $1.23. I think that we'll see a pretty good move, but it's going to take a move out of the rest of the market. And Tilray is looking decent though, still up quite a bit. Let's go check out CGC, up quite a bit as well. How about Kronos, CRON? Check out how they're doing. Yeah, Kronos looks pretty decent as well. And Justin says won't touch CLOV right now, but Tilray has been treating me good. So that's awesome to hear. I'm glad Tilray's been doing great for you. I know some of these marijuana stocks have really been popping up over the past like week or so, so that's good to hear. And Rad says, yeah, and they definitely have more room to move. Better long term for sure. Yeah, I think I agree. I really like CLNE. I think it's a pretty good company for the longer term. It might be very volatile like today or the next few days, but I think just grabbing shares and holding it for the long term could be a good option. It is a little high right now, but we'll have to see like how this movement goes over the next few days to kind of see like how this ends up playing out. But if you guys want me to check out any setups or anything, please let me know, and please hit that like button, guys. It really helps me out. You know, it's just one of those things that helps us with the YouTube algorithm and everything. So I really appreciate it if you could smash that like button. But yeah, let's go check out my watch list really quick. Actually, we'll kind of look at it and see like what's going on here. Let me go ahead and bring up. There we go. I got our overlay up there. But yeah, let's go ahead and check this out. We have ACB kind of down today. We have CGC. Let's go check it out. Just going through my watch list today on the daily chart. Facebook slightly red. You know, it looks like GLD or gold is kind of popping up. Look at this. GLD is kind of running up today, which is a pretty good sign. I actually saw a pretty negative article about the dollar having some problems, and you know, that's something that's not a good sign usually. You know, when the dollar does pretty bad, it usually sends people flying into gold and different commodities like that. So it seems pretty good for gold today. I know that in just a little while, we're going to have the crude oil inventories get reported by the United States. So that's going to be a very big deal today, I think, going forward. You know, crude oil has just been killing it lately, just breaking up the new highs all the way up above $70 per barrel right now. So guys, just keep in mind, crude oil inventories, it might send oil down, it might send them up, but either way, it's probably going to move the market a little bit. And then tomorrow on Thursday, keep in mind the CPI data is coming out that's going to give us a take on inflation. So guys, going forward today and at the end of the day today, I'd be pretty careful holding some of your positions through the night tonight, because tomorrow morning we might see a pretty big move out of the market with that CPI data coming out, and it's really going to show us like if inflation is continuing to move up, or if we're just kind of you know, if we're just kind of at those levels that are good for the market rather than exploding up to 4.2% or 4.5% or something like that. So we're just gonna have to see how those numbers end up going. But honestly, seems like a pretty good day overall for crude oil so far before the inventories get released. So we'll just have to see what happens. And then let's go back to the SPY really quick. You know, it's just it keeps failing to break out. You know, I'm really waiting for it. It seems like a pretty good setup though. I think later on today it'll break above 423.50 and we might see it move to the upside. And Hunter says MU, yeah, Micron. I saw them yesterday really tank off. And what's the catalyst here, Hunter? I don't even know. This is a pretty crazy move to the downside though. Pretty bad actually. Let's go check out like AMD. Yeah, even AMD is down. Qualcomm is kind of down as well. They're not down as much as AMD. Let's go check out NVDA. I know that they're another one. Yep, let's go check out Taiwan Semiconductors, TSM. Yeah, TSM's actually popping up. Look at that. Yesterday TSM kind of tanked off with MU, but today they are really rocketing back up. So that's a pretty strange recovery to see actually. But let's go back to MU, and man, that's just not a good setup at all. It seems like all the semiconductor stocks are just getting hurt pretty bad, which is not a good sign. And Shelby says, would like to buy a CLNE option recommendation. So let's go check it out. CLNE. You know, honestly, it just depends on the movement. Like right now, I don't think I'd personally buy one. It seems like we have kind of like lower highs, and it seems like a decent setup maybe for later in the day. But as of right now, at this moment, I just don't like it yet. If we start to see this start to recover back up and maybe break out above 1450, I think it might be a better option. And I'll go ahead and look at some of these options on CLNE to just to kind of see like what we have going on here. So it seems like there isn't really too many weeklies. You're going to have to go with a monthly. And honestly, it seems like there's a ton of volume and a ton of open interest on the $13 calls here that cost $2.75 or $2.70 right now. So I would personally probably go with the $13 strike. It's always better to go in the money. So you could go with like the 10 strike, the 11 strike, or the 12 strike, but just keep in mind you're spending a little bit more money on the option, but you're getting a better option overall. So personally, that's what I would do. But I would honestly though make it wait until it broke above 1450. I think that's going to be a pretty big deal to wait. And let's see, we have Rad saying Workhorse is not bad. WKHS. Let's go check it out. Yeah, actually Workhorse really recovered up nicely. That's a really nice thing to see out of Workhorse. And this is pretty nice actually. So Workhorse is breaking out above that high of a couple days ago and kind of moving up towards $20. I think as we start to move over today in the next couple of days, we might like come back up and retest that $20 resistance up there. We have Pradeep talking about Microsoft. Let's go check. Wow, yeah, Microsoft's straight up killing it today, just moving straight up to the upside. I know Microsoft on the 1 year daily is honestly looking really good. You know, it's bouncing off support, going to the upside. Looks like it's going to be retesting all-time highs pretty soon. And I wonder what Apple's doing with that. Apple has a very slight green day, but yeah, that's a pretty good move. I just want to go check out Twitter again really quick to see how it's moving. I know it was at $60 earlier, kind of moving slow now, kind of like I expected. It's up quite a bit. I think it might take some movement later on in the day for it to start to really run, but seems like a pretty good setup still. Let's check out CCL, kind of moving back to the upside as well. DraftKings kind of hit $56 and is going to the downside. Let's check out the 1 year daily right off resistance. Guys, let me go update a position really quickly, but let's go check out the SPY moving back to the upside. And I'll just go ahead and like let it sit on the SPY for a second because it looks like the SPY's running and we might start to really run up to 423.50, but I'm going to update a position and I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys. Sorry for that. I just had to go update that position really quick. Looks like the SPY actually failed to break out. Guys, let me know what you want me to see in the chat. Let's go check out what Hunter has to say. Bibbin says NASDAQ popping up on the 15-minute. Let's go check it out. QQQ. Let's go see. Yeah, wow, really popping up and then ended up coming back to the downside. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hunter says, not sure DRAM contract price is rising in Q3 too, apparently for MU. Wow, so that's pretty good. Yeah, anything that has to do with like RAM or anything could be good, but it seems like that's hurting them, so that's not a good sign. You know, I would think that, you know, that's obviously bad for them. I see what you're saying now, Hunter. It took me a second to kind of process that. So they're using the DRAM, so that's what's really happening. So they're having to pay more, I guess, is what you're saying. We have A talking about what is the support for Fiverr, FVRR. Let's go check it out. I think the intraday, there's a pretty good support here around 208. If it keeps moving to the downside, there's a pretty good one right around 204 that I think is going to hold up. And I think that 204 is going to be the better one of the couple right there. So I think that's going to be a pretty good scenario out of Fiverr. I think that it's been a pretty good stock. Hopefully it can keep breaking up above those highs though. But yeah, support definitely around 208 and then 204. We have Samuel saying CLSK up 10%. So check it out. CLSK. I actually haven't heard too much about this one, but Clean Spark, it almost reminds me of CLNE, which is like clean energy. I'm not sure that it's quite the same, but you know, this looks like a pretty good recovery play also, like it might start popping up over the next few weeks. I think that there's a solid resistance up here around $25 a share, and I think it would be a pretty solid setup to go back up and maybe hit that once again. Kathy says Workhorse is up today. Do you think it will continue? You know, let's go check out Workhorse. It was looking better earlier in the day. Let's check it out right now, though. Looks like it's coming down. I think it can definitely continue later in the day if it can hold support. You know, I think we have a decent low of day here around 1670. You could say $17, somewhere right around there. If we can hold these levels and hold this 1000 SMA, I think it'll be good. But my main concern is if we fall below this, then obviously change your strategy around. What I always say is just react to the market rather than, you know, the market. The market obviously is not going to react to you. So that's the big thing, is that just react to the market. And I mean, you might have to switch up your strategy if it breaks below that support at 1650. But I think it can keep continuing up later in the day. It's just going to depend on if it can hold or not. And it's going to depend on like how these other stocks are moving as well. But the implied volatility is really popping here, going from like 173% up to 220%. So pretty big moves out of Workhorse, and I'm sure the options are just going straight up bananas. And Sean says got a BIIB put 2 months ago out at the 300 strike. Nice. Did you buy a put on BIIB, or did you sell a put on BIIB? Because that's going to be the big thing, I think. Did you sell one or did you buy one? I think if you sold one, it would be pretty good. If you bought one, like for example yesterday after the pop, I think that's a pretty good move. It might be a good play. It looks like BIIB is running up though. I will say with their drug announcement and everything like that to kind of help with Alzheimer's, I think that might really help the company. I don't really see it, you know, crashing and burning back down to 300 or 280 anytime soon. Hopefully for your sake it can keep going down though. If you long those puts, I should say, if you shorted the puts, then I think that's all right. Then I think that would have been a little bit of a better of a play. But since you did long them, you're gonna definitely have to see some downwards movement here coming up today. We have Queen saying SNDL going up. So there we go. I've been kind of waiting for this one and the marijuana industry to still kind of rocket back up. And yeah, it is looking pretty decent today. Let's go check out AMC again. Man, slightly down. Not looking good. I hope that market manipulation is not affecting this at all. I mean, that's a pretty bad sign to see this down at open like this. It is below all of the SMAs as well and kind of bounced off them pretty well. People were talking about how the institutions and the hedge funds were trying to distract people from AMC and make them buy CLOV, Wendy's, and stuff like that. Let's go check out CLOV. Yeah, not looking good either. WEN down a lot today, but yeah, AMC is not looking good either. Hopefully it can kind of hold these levels and go back up. Over the past few days, there's been a really solid support on AMC at $40 per share. I think if we can hold 40, it'll be a pretty good setup. We might move down today and retest $40. Who knows? You can tell that, look at the red 1000 right here. This is the first time we've fallen below it in the past few days. And personally, this is a very bearish sign usually. So just be very careful today with AMC. It could keep falling, but hopefully it can hold that $40 support. But if not, it's going to be a, I would definitely adjust my strategy and kind of look at it in a different sense. We have Russ saying NIO making some upside moves. So let's go check it out. NIO, let's see how that stock's moving. Yeah, it was moving very well. Now it's kind of tanking off again. What's up with the market right now? It seems like every day it opened, you know, stocks are ripping up, then they just tank off out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on, if people are scared of inflation or what they're talking about, but man, it's just not a good sign at all for the overall market. It just seems like we just keep failing to break out, but hopefully the SPY can start to, you know, recover back up from where it is today. We are kind of hovering right on that 100 SMA on the 5-minute chart. Let's go check out the 1 minute. Yeah, on the 1 minute, we actually hit right off the 1000, which is good. Hopefully we can hold this today and go back up. I think it'll be a great move if the SPY does this and breaks out above 423.50. I feel like I've said this 50 times already today, but if the SPY can break out, it's going to be a great trade for a quick scalp or a quick day trade. I think that'll be one of the better setups in the market. Let's go check out Wish, though. You know, I forgot about Wish. Yeah, Wish is down a lot too today. It's still up 8%, counting the pre-market moves and the move of yesterday, but it's moving down pretty bad as well, below some SMAs. Hopefully it can hold this $12 support. $12 honestly seems like a pretty good level to buy Wish up at. So if you guys were looking for a pretty good, a pretty safe like risk reward scenario, Wish seems like a pretty decent level right now. If it falls below 12, just simply cut it. And, you know, you can cut it like 1180 or 1160, not really risk too much money here on Wish if you wanted to get in. We have GZ saying, thoughts, good buying number for AMC. So let's go check it out. AMC, where do I think would be a good level to buy it? 5-day, 15-minute chart. I think somewhere around $40 would be a decent entry. If it doesn't keep going down today, if it starts breaking up to the upside, I would make it break out above 58 and then buy it. You are getting into some resistance right there, but I would definitely make it break those because there's a lot of overhead resistance coming up today. And if AMC starts, you know, popping up to like let's just say 52 or 54, just be pretty careful because 54 seems like a pretty solid resistance, and then 58. So there's definitely some levels to look out for if it starts to move back to the upside. And that's just the main concern is, you know, how many resistances are there going to be, and will it have enough momentum to kind of push through? And, you know, the people have kind of made a lot of sense the past couple of days. They've been saying people have been selling AMC to go buy CLOV, Wendy's, and stuff like that. And I think it could definitely hurt AMC in the short term. So hopefully, you know, hopefully people come back into AMC and start to really move it back to the upside. But let's go check out CLOV, which is still tanking off at open today. Definitely not a good sign at all. Not looking good. We have Wasam saying NVDA for the short term. Let's go check out NVIDIA. Honestly, yeah, let's go check out the daily chart. Yeah, it looks a little overextended. I know that they have the split news coming up. Just don't be surprised if they have a couple of red days first. The split is supposed to be on July 20th, and there's still a ton of time until then to go to the upside. Don't be surprised if we have a few red days or we maybe come back down and test the 650 support. It still wouldn't be that big of a move even if we did that. The stock is still up a ton this year, and there's just still a ton of hype around it. I think going into that 4-to-1 split coming up in a few weeks or just about a month, I'd say, that's when we really need to watch it. But as of right now, I think we might start to see a pullback, especially with the overall semiconductor market kind of falling. You know, we have MU down, AMD down, what's another one? TSM was down. It's coming back, recovering up today, but overall they've just been getting killed the past few days. And we have Nisha saying thoughts on PLTR, a month out call. So let's go check it out. Palantir, a call for a month out. You know, I really like Palantir. My main question is that can it keep breaking out right now? We hit a support down here around $17 and just went straight to the upside all the way up to like $25 where we're sitting right now. That's a little worrisome for me. That's a pretty big move. So personally, I'm just going to have to see see how we see how this moves out. I think if we can break out above 25, it could be a pretty good play. Let's check out the 5-day 15-minute. Yeah, I'd say 25 is going to be a solid level here. If we can break 25, I think Palantir would be a little bit better of a setup, but until we break out above that, I think that we're just going to see a lot of consolidation to downwards movement. So that's going to be a pretty good thing to watch. We have Rad saying GME has earnings today, I think, right? I don't actually know. I haven't heard of that too much. The earnings are today after hours. So yeah, they do actually. That's going to probably move them pretty good, I'd say. So we'll have to see what goes on, but GME hit right off of this 350 resistance. Looks like it's coming to the downside now. So honestly, that's scaring me with these earnings coming up. Hopefully these earnings can kind of hold up and do pretty well. We have David asking, Apple was insane. Any news? What caused that? So let's go check it out. AAPL. I actually don't know. Let's go check it out. Did it end up going to the downside? Are you talking about Apple news to the downside, David? Or are you talking about the news that made it go up? Oh, he talked about yesterday. So yeah, I think that the main thing was yesterday is that they had an event on Monday, and whenever that event came out, it didn't really move Apple too much. It was kind of an event like towards the end of the day, I believe, and you can see then Apple really recovered up the next day off of that event. They kind of said that they were going to be integrating like Windows into FaceTime and stuff like that, so you can get FaceTime calls like on your phone or on your computer and stuff like that. So they're kind of going to be working with Windows and some other companies in a little bit of a way. And they just announced a couple of new things at that event. So if you want to check it out, David, go look up the Apple event news on Monday. I think you'll get some good information there. But overall, it didn't really move Apple too much, but you can see it's kind of consolidating today. And then we have Shelby saying, took the risk, CLNE, $10 strike, 9/17. Let's go check it out. CLNE looks like it is moving up today again pretty well. Hopefully it can kind of hold these lower levels like we were talking about earlier. Looks like it might hold, so that's a great sign. I love how it came down to that high of after hours yesterday and is bouncing like right off of $12.40. That's looking like a very good move, to be honest. And I think that anything, off of support looks decent, especially with stocks like CLNE that have a ton of momentum in them. And I love how CLNE is starting to really rip up. Like if we look at the 1 minute, you can start to really see these candlesticks moving to the upside here. And we'll just go ahead and sit on CLNE for 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and check some positions again, but definitely let me know in the comments what you guys want me to look at over the next few minutes, because there's definitely a lot of stocks moving today, and CLNE is just one of them, but it's definitely one of the biggest ones, of course. I really like the setup today. I like how it's holding the SMAs and supports. It looks pretty decent overall. Then we have the SPY trying to come back up, still moving off that 1,000 SMA, like we talked about earlier, trying to hold its ground. Hopefully it can keep going. It honestly looks like a very good setup. I really wanted to break out today, so we'll have to see what happens. The QQQ slightly red now, even though the SPY is going green. So it seems like tech and the SPY are just moving like, they're not moving opposite of each other, but they're definitely not moving with each other by any means. You can tell that in the movement today between QQQ and the SPY. But man, just overall today, the market looking pretty volatile. We have a lot of stocks going up and then falling down at open, and now they're trying to come back up. So there's a ton of stuff going on today, which is not the best sign in the world. We have Sean saying, how do you like Tilray? Let's go see it. Tilray, I know they were moving very well earlier. I really like this, actually. I love how it broke out above $21. Looks like a great setup, actually. The whole marijuana sector looks pretty great. Tilray looks like an awesome swing, possibly, for the next few days. I see a huge resistance coming up around $24.20 or $24 over the next couple of days. There's also one today around like $22.14 or $22.10. So really be careful there. But overall, the setups are looking pretty decent. I honestly like the stock. I like Tilray. I think it can do good for the longer term. I think some other ones are better, like CGC, CRON, some other ones like that. I know ACB isn't the best one, but CRON is looking very well today as well. We even have the MJ ETF kind of up today as well, up 2%. So that's a great thing to see. And overall, just most of these marijuana stocks are doing great. PLNHF Planet 13 is up a little bit today. Also, one of the biggest dispensaries in Las Vegas. Guys, if you guys have ever been to Las Vegas over the past couple of years, let me know in the comments if you've ever been to Planet 13. I know that it's a pretty big dispensary there, one of the largest ones in the world, and it's supposed to be like the Walmart of the marijuana industry or something like that. So definitely check it out if you ever go to Vegas. Maybe even if you don't, do marijuana, of course, just walk around and check it out, because it's definitely a pretty cool looking store, I think, and there's definitely a lot of advertisement there for it. But going back to the overall market and the SPY, see how it's going, kind of moving back down, not a good sign. Still, guys, let me know in the comments any questions you have, any concerns about the institutions kind of distracting you from AMC and CLOV and different things like that. It looks like AMC actually caught some green and is coming back to the upside, which is great to see. Came right back up to resistance around 52 or 5160, kind of hitting off this purple 100 SMA as we speak and kind of consolidating. So we'll just have to see how AMC can keep moving today, but I really like that it came back up. I'm glad it did that. Initially it opened, it hit some of these SMAs and went to the downside, which was initially a bad sign, but I'm glad to see it recovering up right now, and hopefully everybody keeps holding it, because it looks like a pretty good setup. And Sherry says AMC skyrocket, and yeah, I think you got that. You nailed it on the head. AMC is looking great today. Hopefully it can recover back. Like I said, people have been talking about tons of manipulation in the market with CLOV, institutions buying it up and then trying to obviously like run the news on it and give us the runaround, pretty much is what they're trying to do. So looks like hopefully CLOV keeps going down for AMC's sake, I think. If people start running into CLOV and buying it up, not a good sign. But overall, today CLOV is moving down, which is not good. If it kept running today, for example, and ran up above $30, then maybe keep looking at CLOV, because it's definitely going to create some good opportunities. But since it is down today, overall looks like a bad setup. And I think that with all that bad news with the institutions and everything like that, it kind of has people kind of angry about CLOV, Wendy's, and stuff like that. And I think that's why we're seeing those two stocks specifically down quite a bit, while we see things like Sundial, AMC, other ones like GME kind of running back up, while those other ones are going down. I think it's showing, which ones people are flocking to right now. Constantine says, going to shipping, SBLK and ZIM. Shipping, huh? Are we talking about shipping again? Is that really going to be another thing that we get into? SBLK moving back up. That looks pretty cool. ZIM. Let's go check out ZIM. Yeah, moving up as well. I know I don't know if anybody remembers this, but a few years ago, there was some shipping companies that were rocketing up. I'm not sure if these are the same ones, but I know that one of them was Top Ships, TOPS. The stock moved from like a couple cents up to like, 200 a share or 150 a share or something like that. Crazy moves. But look at Top Ships again today, running back to the upside. And man, sometimes when these shipping companies run, they like to run. And Top Ships, I'll never forget that in the past. It was like back around, at least when I first started trading, Top Ships was just looking amazing, moving to the upside, which is just an amazing thing to see. And hopefully it does that again. And I'm not saying it's going to hit $100 like it did before, but man, that was almost like the first short squeeze that I saw, or the first time people were really flocking in. And this was before like Wall Street Bets and Reddit and everything like that. So that's a pretty good sign. But hopefully like Top Ships can keep going, just for the sake of that nostalgia for everybody who knew it back in the day. Guys, let me know in the comments if you were trading back then whenever Top Ships and those shipping companies were popping. I think it was back in like 2018, 2019, maybe even like 2017, 2016 area. So really let me know. I think it's a pretty interesting subject, and there was definitely a lot of movement out of those. And Sherry just put some money faces up. Yeah, looking pretty good overall. Let's go back to AMC. That's probably what she's talking about. 1 minute chart coming back up, breaking up that 100 SMA, moving back to the upside. So looking very good actually, which is great. We have Sherry saying also WEN was good. So Wendy's, let's go check it out. Yeah, Wendy's was good. Now it's kind of coming back to the downside. It fell below these SMAs, which is not a good sign usually. It might start to recover back up since like AMC is recovering up, but honestly, people have been talking about Wendy's and CLOV in kind of a negative sense. So hopefully Wendy's can kind of hold its ground, but it's not looking too good for the rest of today, I will say. But it is kind of trying to hold it like its support here around like 26.60. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And then Hunter says UNFI. Oh no, we actually have Giovanni saying, can you check out CCIV? So let's go check it out really quick. Churchill Capital running up to the upside, which is a decent thing to see here. 1 year daily moving up. Looks pretty good, actually. I like Churchill. Not that I like Churchill per se, but I like the way that that the cars look that Churchill makes, for example. I'm just trying to think of the company. Guys, let me know in the comments the company, the name of the company that Churchill, or that did the SPAC deal with Churchill, I should say. You know, I always forget the name of this EV company. They're not really around, but they have pretty cool looking cars anyways. I really like the way they look, but the company overall has just not been too good yet. I kind of, I'm having a brain fart here, just can't remember what that's called. But let's go back to the SPY really quick, see if that's kind of bouncing up today. Not really, kind of still sitting down low. We have Hunter saying CLVT to the upside. Let's check it out. CLVT. Oh, wow. Yeah, not to the upside. Down 13%. Not looking good at all. 1 year daily looks terrible, actually. I don't know what these guys do as a company. Yeah, I appreciate it, Hunter. Lucid Motors on CCIV. That's right. I'm always forgetting that one for some reason. I always forget Lucid, but I appreciate you letting me know. Looking pretty good here off of the 28 support, maybe, Hunter. Are you looking at this for cash secure puts? The IV actually really skyrocketed today, so could be some pretty good opportunities coming up. I don't know what they do fundamentally, but seems pretty decent. Then we have Morris saying RLX bounce back. Let's go check it out. RLX kind of moving back to the upside. That's a pretty good thing to see. This stock has been getting killed lately. We have, let's see, and then we have Roberto saying Twitter at $60.20. So let's go check it out. TWTR. Yeah, moving to the upside, breaking above $60. Looks like we might finally get to fill this gap to the upside, guys. Looks like a pretty good setup here. It took quite a few days to move up, but guys, that's part of the game, Sometimes you just have to hold and kind of see what the stock does, but overall, great confirmations on the daily. Really like it. Up above 60. Like it off of the blue trend line. I like the gap right there that we have to fill. Overall, pretty good setup on Twitter. I think it could keep going over the next couple of days as well. Unless it ends up popping like 10% today, then it would be over, but that would be the main way. Oh yeah, there's no volume on CLVT. Yeah, that's too bad because it seemed like it would have been a pretty good opportunity. And then we had let's see, we had Sherry asking about Geo and CLOV. So let's go check out Geo. Wow, I don't know what this stock is, but this looks pretty good actually, moving to the upside. Huge gap up. I don't know what they do, but this is a pretty good move here. And I don't know what's going on up here at the top. I don't know if they just did a deal with somebody or what they did, but it seems like something happened with this stock. Please let me know in the comments if there's any weird news or anything going on with that. We have David saying NAKD has been great to me this year. Thoughts on a good re-entry? So let's go check out NAKD Naked Brand Group 5-day 5-minute chart. I would think a good re-entry would be somewhere around the 70-cent support. I think that would be a good way to watch. $1 was a huge resistance, so watch for it to maybe break above $1 over the next like few weeks to couple of days. If it starts to move back to the upside, let's go check out that daily chart. Not looking too good. Yeah, I don't know too much about this stock fundamentally. I know I've heard of it a ton, but it doesn't look the best, I will say. It's been moving up a lot the past couple of weeks, but for the past like 3 days, it's just been pretty flat. So that's my main concern. Sorry about that. We have Sherry saying Wish for a short. So let's go check it out. Wish, yeah. Oh, wow. Not good at all. $17 down to $12.30. Pretty bad move, actually, out of Wish. And they were running up a ton yesterday in after hours. I do like how they're on the 1,000 SMA. If they fail to hold this and they break down below $12, definitely I would say look at them for a short. Sherry, I think that would be the best thing to do. Make them break down below $12 and then check it out. Shelby says, check out Twitter again. TWTR. Yeah, moving great up to $60.35. Looking good. Still holding strong on the 1 year daily. Kind of looking still for this gap to fill. I think the Twitter still has a lot of potential for the next few days. Hunter says no volume. Oh yeah, we already talked about no volume on that one. Root to the upside. Let's check it out. ROOT. Let's see. Yeah, it really gapped up today. I don't know what Root does, but I did hear some people talking about this one in the Discord, and it's kind of holding its ground. I don't know if if there's some huge short interest or what on Root. Let me go check it out though, because Root did look pretty interesting. So I'm kind of interested to see like what the short float is. The short float earlier this morning was around 30%, 30.6%. So definitely look out. I think the short float's pretty high. It could have a move, but lately, we're seeing everybody talk about the short float, everything like that. And we'll just have to see like if Wall Street Bets can kind of run in and kind of get into this or not. That's going to be our main concern here. But overall, CLOV tanking off today like a lot of people predicted. Look at that. Down below the 1,000 SMA, dying off. I'm sure this makes a lot of people happy. I know people are talking about people manipulating it with AMC and things like that. So it's pretty good to see CLOV to the downside, I guess, just for the fact of AMC. And AMC kind of recovered up. So that's a good sign. Maybe people are kind of coming back into there. Hunter says Geo backwards too. OEG. So let's go check out OEG. Orbital Energy. You know what? I don't know what this stock is, but it sounds interesting anyways. It sounds like something that would go out into space or something like that. I'm definitely going to have to check out what these guys do. Let me know down in the chat what they do, Hunter, fundamentally as a company. Like, do they do satellites? Do they do something on the Earth? That's a pretty interesting thing to see. If they just do something with gas or trying to make like oil clean or something like that, who knows? I don't know what they do, but overall, pretty good moves out of the stock. 5-day, 5-minute. It really popped up in pre-market and then fell back down. So we're going to have to see if we can kind of hold this 1,000 SMA and go back up for the rest of the day, which looks like there is a lot of potential to do that. And REI says Root has big short, 8-1. So let's go check it out. ROOT. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it did. It almost tripled top today around 1440, which is a little worrisome, I guess, to say the least, but not a good sign, to see a triple top. But if it can break this later on, I think it could definitely run, and hopefully those shorts get pushed out, REI, because I think it could be a pretty good move here. We have Tech9 saying, hey, Mike, can you check out HYLN? I'm holding some shares. I bought it $15. It dropped since I bought. I've been trying to wait to break even. So let's go check it out. HYLN. I know that this stock has definitely been a crazy mover over the past year. You said you bought it at $15. You've been waiting to break even. Honestly, $15 is a huge resistance, I think, on HYLN. Don't be surprised if we like touch 15 and then fall to the downside. So I think that's going to be a pretty big thing to see with that. And overall, that's going to be a pretty crazy move. Sean says this is Tom at Tech9. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. You had me a little confused, Sean. But yeah, I am Tom. I'm not Mike. Mike will be back tomorrow, Tech9. But yeah, I understand the confusion there. But yeah, we have Sherry saying Wish tank, Tilray popped, and then Rad saying CLNE tank. So not a good sign. Let's go check out CLNE first. Wow, yeah, clean energy really started falling off the table here today. Not a good sign at all. Moving down to that 1,000 SMA. It's like right around that support at $12, $11.60. So maybe look for it to hit this 1,000 SMA and bounce. I might sit on it for the 1 minute, just for a couple seconds to see like how it moves, or I'll come right back to it. But let's go check out what Sherry had to say really quick. Wish tanked and Tilray popped. So yeah, Wish is tanking off to the downside also, moving down below that 1,000 SMA. Guys, I talk about these SMAs a lot. They're normally pretty big levels. You can see what happens whenever they get broken. It got broken today. Wish just falls right through it, explodes to the downside. So pretty bad thing. Hunter's talking about OEG. He says that they acquire and develop innovative companies to create a diversified energy infrastructure service platform. So cool. Thanks for letting me know that, Hunter. Good to see that they're not like a space company or anything. You had my hopes up though. You know, I was really hoping that they were another type of space company or something like that, but pretty good. Vicky says to check out VALE, please. So let's go check it out. Vale. Yeah, moving up. I remember Vale being pretty hot a few months ago. Looks like they kind of double topped and had lower highs. Personally, even though they're up today, Vicky, I'd be really careful with them. I think that they can still be good for the long term, but in the short term, I have a feeling that they could have some downwards movement. But if they break up above $23, that'll be a pretty good play to the upside. And let's go back and check out some of these other stocks really quick, like CLOV possibly. See how that's moving on the 1 minute chart here. Moving down below their 1000 SMA, also just tanking off. Not a good sign at all. Let's go check out CLNE again. Look at that, CLNE, guys, goes right down to that 1000 SMA. Let's go check that out, see how it moves off of this. It might have been a good buying opportunity right there. Usually that level is a pretty good area for stocks to bounce. Usually you can at least get like a quick 1 to 2 minute trade out of it, you know, kind of like what we're seeing here. Buy at the bottom level, like 1150, maybe scalp it really quick back up to 12, get out really quick at the snap of your fingers for a very quick scalp trade, a quick 5 to 10% or something like that. I think that's a pretty good way to look. Sherry says MU is looking sad. Let me grab a drink really quick while I bring up MU, but man, it's definitely not looking good. Alrighty, thank you for bearing with me there. But yeah, MU looking pretty good, holding 79. Hopefully it can hold that, or else it's not going to be a good day at all. 5-day, 15-minute looks very bearish, not a good sign. Like somebody said earlier, the DRAM prices are kind of increasing, which is not a good sign. And anytime that these chips are hard to get, of course, it's going to create a supply and demand scenario to where there's obviously less supply and more demand, so the price is just going to skyrocket, of course, until that supply can kind of catch up. But honestly, the companies are probably just going to keep the pricing the same, just to still make up for all their losses over the past year. To say, we have Queen saying, Mike, can you please check out TGT, any profit target for today? So let's go check it out. Target, what's the profit target on Target? So that's funny, but I would say 238 would be the target. Just be careful. Target likes to move a little slow. You know, it's a slow and steady stock, but on the daily, it looks very strong. Keeps breaking those highs and looks like it might run up. I would definitely look for 238 and then for 240 after that, but looks like a pretty solid play. Intraday, it looks like it might be coming down, but I think it's a good swing for the next couple of days, possibly. Just be a little wary. You know, Target on the 1 year daily is so far up that it could easily come back down. So that's my only concern with it at all, but that's it. We have Harold saying, do you have a suggested strike to sell NIO this week that can expire worthless, but with a little bit of premium? So let's go check it out. NIO, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier. Man, on the daily, not looking good. It hit that 100 SMA, might start moving to the downside off of that. The intraday today is not looking good either. A suggested strike that you can sell to expire worthless, but with a little bit of okay premium. So let's go check it out. Let's go check out NIO on the options chain really quick. Expire this week, June. You said it had to be this week, right? Let's see. Yeah, this week. So there's only a couple days left, which is not a good sign. My main question is are you going to be comfortable holding NIO for the long term if it does hit? Because I know you said, do you have a suggested strike to sell NIO this week that can expire worthless, but with a little bit of okay premium? So the main thing is that if you want more premium, you're going to have a lot more of a chance of it not expiring worthless. You know, you have more of a chance of getting a sign, of course, if you want more premium. So honestly, if I were you, I'd look at like the 40 strike put. You know, I would try to go out to that. It's only $10, you know, off of you can see the ROC, the return on capital, is only 2.1%. So it's not the best in the world, but it's a pretty safe trade. And then you're getting NIO at $40 if you lose. So if you like NIO for the long term, personally, that's what I would go for, is the $40 strike. You could go out even further than that to like the 39, but honestly, it's only a $1 difference and it's not that big of a difference. If NIO falls down to 40, I think it could possibly hit 39 as well. But the chances of this working out, it has a 90% chance of staying above $40. So I think that's the good thing to see with it. To sell NIO. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Okay, sorry. I didn't know you had okay. So you have shares and you're looking to sell calls. Okay. I figured you were looking for an entry to sell some puts at. So let me go ahead and check out the calls. Let's see, calls to the upside. Yeah, if you have some shares, I think that you have some decent premiums here on the calls. Let's check it out. We're right at the 100 SMA. Let's check out some good resistances coming up here around $46 to $47. So let's go look. $46, you can get $30 in premium. If you want to sell that, has about a 80% chance of working out. You could do the 47 strike call for $20. Has about an 87% chance of working out. You could go a little further out to get around $8, but personally I would try to stick to somewhere around 47 or 48. I think that seems like a pretty good thing there. Harold says, I do not have an option to sell puts. Yeah, I gotcha. Selling puts can be pretty good if you're looking for an entry position on something. You know, that's what I normally do. Hang on one second. All right, I am right back. Sorry about that. Let me go back to the chart really quick. Check out TWTR again, moving to the upside at $60.30. Yeah, looking very good. It honestly has a lot of room to move. So that's the main thing with Twitter here is that it has a lot of room to move. I think over the next few days to the upside. We finally broke the $60 resistance, guys. So don't get too jittery yet. You know, I think that there's definitely a lot of room to keep going. So hang on one second. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze really quick, but let's see. Roberto says, I've heard Vale is undervalued. So let's check it out. VALE, undervalued. Yeah, I'd agree. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about the company. I don't know really what they do fundamentally, but I've heard the same things. And hopefully for the longer run, it can start to go up. You can see how their all-time high is pretty high. So honestly, I think look for $25 over the next couple of weeks. That's going to be a very solid resistance out of Vale, so really look out. I think we might start to head up towards that though, so it seems like a pretty good setup overall. And Harold says, thanks Mike, and great video as always. Yeah, Harold, this is Tom, by the way, but yeah, sorry for the confusion there, but yeah, Mike will be back tomorrow, but yeah, no problem. You know, I appreciate it. I understand the confusion there. Kay says, Wish bounced back. Oh, it did. Let's go see. Wish bounced back. I know that's going to make a lot of people happy if they ended up coming back. So let's see. Yeah, well, just a little bit. Okay, you know, it's not too big of a bounce back yet. You know, we're still below that 1,000 SMA, which is not a good sign. And, you know, let's go back to CLNE. I was talking about it off that 1,000 SMA earlier this morning, and looks like it is bouncing off of that pretty well. And hopefully we can start to see a recovery back to the upside. We have Sherry saying AMC is going again. So let's go see. Hopefully that's a good sign. Yeah, AMC is moving up. That's a good thing to see. You know, people have been talking about that stuff with CLOV going on and Wendy's, of course. So I'm glad to see AMC still moving. I'm glad to see it kind of holding its ground after a lot of that. REI says, is Mike in Las Vegas scoping out Planet 13? No, he is definitely not REI. Mike is Mike is not that type of guy at all, but yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm sure he'd like Las Vegas, but I don't think he'd like Planet 13 too much. But yeah, that's funny. That's a funny thing you said there. Justin says it's the Tom and Mike show now. Haha. Yeah. Don't say that yet, Justin. Don't go there yet. But Roberto says, can you check out CRSR? I'm still holding the calls. Let's check it out. You got me laughing there, Justin. CRS and And REI, that was pretty funny. But yeah, Roberto says, can you check out CRSR? I'm still holding the call. So let's check it out. Corsair Gaming on the 1-year daily, looking pretty good. You know, I don't know when your calls expire, Roberto. Oh, there we go. Perfect. You read my mind. Typed it right as I was asking it. CRSR $35 strike for the 18th of June. So honestly, looks really good. I think my only problem is that it's the 18th of June is your expiration, so we might see some problems with that. But I like CRSR for the next couple of weeks. It really held this support at 31.50 very solidly. Hit it off of it like 4 or 5 or 6 times or something like that over the past few days. Looks like we're catching a nice green candle back to the upside right now, and it's looking very, very strong for maybe a good recovery play. So honestly, I really like CRSR. I love them as a company, and I think that they can just do great for the longer run. And they make tons of stuff: headsets, mice, computer parts, different things like that. And then let's go check out Twitter one more time. TWTR kind of moving up again, 60.34 on the 1-minute chart, still kind of breaking out, so looking pretty decent. Let's check out DraftKings again, moving back to the downside. I know earlier today they were moving up pretty well, and then they just tanked off, so not a good sign to see there, but not the worst in the world. Guys, if you want me to cover any more stocks before I go, let me know in the chat. I only have a few minutes left, but let's go ahead and get some more things covered. Let's go check out the SPY one more time. It's still holding that 1,000 SMA. I mean, we bounced off of it 3 times today. I think that the SPY is looking like it might hold its ground and move back to the upside. That's honestly looking like a pretty solid setup. I think that this is going to be a pretty good move for today. You know, lots of people are talking about Tilray earlier in the morning as well. Tilray still running up 8%. CLNE, let's go check that one out. Still holding that 1,000 SMA. Maybe we can see a good recovery out of this today as well. I appreciate that, Roberto. You know, have a good rest of your day. And guys, if you guys want to trade with Mike and I, let me know in the comments down below, or check out the links down below, guys, for statistical modeling for our Discord. Come check it out. We're trading in there all day long, talking with the members and stuff like that. So come check it out. I think that you guys will definitely get a lot of information out of it. You can ask us questions all day long, and we have a lot of we have a lot of bots and stuff like that in there as well. I'll kind of showcase it for you guys really quick. You know, we can see some of these bots that we have going on here. We have a lot of bots that call out a lot of stocks. We have our free day trading channel where I call out some free day trades. Today I called out SPY if we can pass above 423.50. I called out JP Morgan for puts if it falls below $163. So let's go check out JP Morgan. It fell right below 163 and tanked down to 162.28. So you guys could have gotten a pretty good call right there. Queen says, let's go AMC, hashtag ape strong. Yeah, good idea. Matt says, thanks for holding down the fort, Tom. Yep, I appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of your day. And like I said, check out those links down below. Hit that like button. Come check us out tomorrow. We go live every single day. We'll have a YouTube video coming out tonight around 7 p.m. Central Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely check that out as well. And guys, have a good rest of your day.